Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading at number 645. Before getting into this reading, chances are most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, so if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support the growth of my channel, feel free to do so by sticking around, hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it so you don't miss an upload. My current goal is 500 subscribers, so I can have access to offering channel memberships. So if you do decide to support my channel, thank you very much. So starting with interpreting the number 645. Each of these numbers individually, the number 6 brings unconditional love, unhealthy attachments. The number 4 is about stability, whether it's emotionally or materially. And the number 5 is about change, transformation, movement. And I just saw 122, and that's a sign to remember that change starts with you. When you add all of these individual numbers together, you get the number 15, or the number 6, which again really emphasizes that devilish and unconditional love type of energy. The number 6 feels quite significant because when I started recording, I looked at the clock right when it was, or the timer on this video, when it was 6 seconds in. So you're definitely, or there's definitely something here about unconditional love, whether it's loving yourself unconditionally, another person, an animal, you know, it's gonna probably resonate differently for everybody. There's someone here who does have an unhealthy attachment, whether, you know, it's you from within or someone outside of you, or something outside of you that has, or that needs more grace, more patience, maybe more realistic expectations, more understanding. It feels like this person or this thing that needs more unconditional love is trying to grow, and they need more nurturing rather than structure, order. And naturally, that nurturing will move into more structure and order. Someone here, I feel like, needs to trust their own journey, where they feel guided, or someone else's journey, where they feel guided, what they feel they need to do to heal and to grow and to build a stable foundation, for sure. You or someone outside of you, something outside of you, needs time to let something go before they can offer more stability. So give this person space, give yourself space, whatever it is, it needs space. Let me think for a second. Is there anything else? Yeah. Change is important, of course. I do feel that someone here is transforming, growing, creating changes, which should be a sign to you that growth is actually happening. So don't be hard on yourself, don't be hard on another person, don't be hard on anyone or anything that is trying to let go of something unhealthy so they can have more and better. There's a big message around trust the process. So now I'm going to draw out one card from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot to see what messages or energies, ideas, signs, whatever wants to come through for the person watching this. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Wow, I have the Emperor in reverse. It says major power, struggle, control, avoidance, stuck, paralyzed. In reverse, and upright, it says calm, level-headed, ruler, structure, practical, logical. For some reason, I just got something political. There could be a political leader here that needs more grace. It also says paternal figure, order, stability, and routine. So I thought it was interesting to see the Emperor here, because when I was thinking about how there needs to be more nurturing and less structure, less order, I was thinking about the Empress and the Emperor. Someone here is not ready for order or structure because there's a real struggle here, a power struggle. It's like this person, I don't think they're necessarily power hungry, whether it's yourself or someone else. I just think this person could have experienced controlling, oppressive environments, and so they feel like they need more control of their environment, of certain situation. They definitely have leadership potential, but they need to let go of something or someone, an unhealthy attachment, addiction, a codependent relationship, whatever it is, so that way they can become the best leader, an even better leader. They might be experiencing a little bit of confusion. The Emperor does have the number 4 on it, so while this person needs less stability and a little more freedom, because stability, routine, it can feel oppressive from my perspective as someone with ADHD, but they need freedom for now, a little more spontaneity in their life, so that way they can work their way towards stability. It's like they have this unstable energy within them that needs to be expressed, that needs to be free, and then naturally this energy will stabilize itself as the instability is expressed or released. You definitely have the potential to be a leader. Someone outside of you has the potential to be a leader. I feel like somebody needed to hear that again. Maybe you want to be some sort of political leader. And I do feel called to say that no matter where or who feels called to lead, it's important to recognize that you are responsible for how you are received. Learning to communicate is a very, very important skill that every leader needs to have. And someone here could feel more passion in their expression. There's nothing wrong with expressing a little bit of that, sometimes it's healthy and normal and needed, but too much passion can come across the wrong way, which can definitely be frustrating, especially if you or someone else feels like they need a little more freedom and less judgments. I feel like there's this general stigma around being frustrated or angry when it comes to the way that someone expresses themselves. I feel like a lot of us automatically assume that if someone can't communicate with composure, then their perspective is too emotional, which that's true sometimes. but sometimes that frustration, that anger comes from a genuine frustration from feeling like the logic that they see other people don't see. Maybe you or someone else sees an issue and it seems like the solution seems so easy, but what's making it harder to get the solution out there is the way that the solution is being communicated. Being a leader is hard, for sure, and I just saw 122, and then 123, another sign there to remember that change starts with you, and to trust that everything happens for a reason. Perhaps if you or someone outside of you learns to communicate better, it will encourage others to do the same. I also feel like if you are in a conflict, or if someone's in a conflict, if you want to give them some advice, it might be better to use I feel statements rather than you are. So that way it comes across as, you're expressing you're more focused on your own feelings rather than blame or accusing somebody. So instead of saying you are controlling me, you are manipulating me, it might be better received if you say I feel like you are controlling me, or I feel like you are manipulating me. I can't say that that's a guarantee. I just learned that psychologically people just tend to, be more receptive to criticism or holding themselves accountable when there's not a bunch of pressure on them, or they don't feel like they're being heavily judged. Maybe you need more people around you who communicate better in that way. I just had this idea actually that maybe whenever someone outside of you is expressing themselves and they say you are this, you are that, maybe it would help your own defensive better to imagine them saying I feel this, I feel that. So I'm going to start wrapping up this reading by drawing out a card from these box of cards, which are cards I made myself. If you didn't already know. Interesting. So I have the 9. Is that a number 9? Let me think. Pretty sure that is, the number 9. The 9 of Swords. I need to shift my perspective about myself and focus on my positive qualities. So you or someone outside of yourself, it could be yourself that is judging yourself, or someone is judging themselves for the way that they communicate, being too hard on themselves about it. So maybe you or someone is communicating the solution enough to be understood, but there's too much focus here on how it's being communicated rather than what's actually trying to be said. It does feel like there needs to be a balance here when it comes to trying to communicate solutions, advice, or anything like that. Whether it's the way that you communicate to yourself, to others, or the way that someone is communicating to you, focus more on the message rather than how it's being said, but also be mindful, or a little bit cautious. Like, it's okay to question someone's perspective a little bit when the way that they're communicating isn't absolutely perfect. But like I said, it's a balance. Don't put too much weight into the way someone is communicating, but also be cautious to make sure that their perspective is truly coming from logic rather than emotion. A leader leads with empathy, but their solutions are logical. The 9 on the 9 of Swords represents purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. So you could feel called to help people be less judgmental to the way that people communicate, or to be a little more cautious to the way that other people communicate. Like maybe you feel called to find that balance and to spread what it means to have a balance between passion and constructive or helpful communication. I think I just saw 1, 2, 3. So that's a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason, no matter where you feel called to, whether or not it has anything to do with communicating or not. Trust that you feel called in that direction for a reason. The Emperor, the Emperor in reverse, it can be a more like evil type of energy, you know, someone who's doing wrong and they know they're doing wrong and they just don't care. But it doesn't feel that way. This feels like someone who genuinely wants to make a difference, but just needs time to heal, to reflect, to learn how to focus on more of their positive leadership qualities rather than being so judgmental towards their darkness, their shadow, their own imperfections, their weaknesses.